Have you ever felt like you were gaining speed in your business and you have the entire route mapped out? You know where to go, when to turn, what to do? It's all the directions are there for you. And then, boom, life throws you a pothole and you're left wobbling and feel like you're going to fall over and have to pick yourself up again. Well, that has definitely been the case for me. And I can say that it's all part of the ride. And in this episode, I'm going to share how to keep moving forward when you feel like you're in a death wobble. Business-wise, money-wise, mindset-wise, we're going to talk about what it looks like to stay grounded, avoiding burnout, and really turning back into your purpose when things feel messy. And also, what does it mean to have the question of like, do I want to give up? Do I want to keep doing this? And I'm going to walk you through a couple of examples, a couple of client stories, and how, people I know and myself personally have dealt with all of this because it's so hard in the moment. And success isn't just about perfection. It's about motion. It's about keeping going no matter how fast or how slow you're going in any given moment. So I've got a few tools to keep you upright. Let's go. Running a business feels like a fucking roller coaster. I'm just going to say it. Some days you're on a massive high and you're like, you can see the view, you can see like the horizon, you know that everything's good, the sun's up, the sky's blue. And then other days you're in this like deep emotional pit that's dark and black and scary. And you feel like you're never going to wake up again and you never want to crawl out of this because you're like, fuck it, it's hard. Why am I doing this? I've had days of both of those, so many, and everything in between. And I was talking to a client recently who runs a really successful startup, also juggling a family, also juggling a full-time job. Her business is really heavily involved in, at this stage of the startup, delivering pitches, collaborating with other organizations, involving research firms. And it's a big load. And she was expressing to me that, some days I just feel like giving up. It's so hard. I wonder if it's worth it. Is it going to be worth it in the end? Is it worth the sacrifice? And should I keep going or not? She was just kind of like having one of these moments that we've all had that everyone can relate to. And she had expressed to me a series of perceived failures and, hadn't had like a streak of wins in a while and was just feeling really disheartened. And who hasn't been there, right? Like, who has not had this situation happen to them? So at first, I expressed like that she did have a large load. Everything was very busy at all times. But I also said like, hey, you're doing amazing. And just look how far you've come in this super short time that you've been running this business. And to that, she was like, yeah, I suppose. And then I told her, or I brought to her awareness that, most business people, the people that we look to who are like worldwide known, very famous kind of household names of business people, those people are successful because they've had failures, because they've been through the tough times. And the very fact that they're at that level of success, to me, is like, I see the shadow side and I just like know all the shit they've been through to get there, all the perceived failures that they went through, but they learned from. And the important thing there is they didn't stop. And in fact, sometimes when we think of failure, we think it's the end of the road. This is it for me. I'm done. Like kill the engine. I'm done. Get my gear off. It's over. But I really like to think of failure as just a pivot. And maybe, in my client's example, like maybe the pitch didn't get the desired outcomes, but it opened a door to another opportunity that you didn't see coming. And, maybe this collaboration, kind of fell short of what you were thinking that it would be, but it highlighted a need to refine some marketing positioning that's going to attract your next collaboration. Now, this is definitely an approach I've done in my business and in the podcast as well. It's like, well, I've been going down this road for a while. It's feeling really hard. It's not, I'm not like chalking up those wins. So looking at it objectively and to say like, am I knocking at the wrong door? Like, what if I knock at the door next door and this slight tweak, gets you that breakthrough that you've needed? It wasn't necessarily that you needed to stop completely and give up. It was just you needed a tiny 1 degree shift that in 2 miles, you realize you are so far from where you were, but you only pivoted that 1 degree, but you've had all this other success because of it. And really, I always, in these times of shit, should I give up? Should I keep writing? I feel like I need to kill the engine, that it's just too hard. There's too much sacrifice. It really helps me to come back to my spiritual practice when it feels like I'm stalling out. So when you are riding a motorcycle, I'm going to give you a little just kind of example here. So there's this thing called the death wobble. So at really high speeds, if, you're not used to it, like sometimes just the physics of the bike, you can go into a death wobble. So that means that you're going really fast, but your handlebars are shaking uncontrollably. And it's really scary because you have no control, and you're shaking uncontrollably. It's frightening, and that can lead to, these jerk reactions that can lead you into an accident or making bad decisions. But when you're in a death wobble, really the only thing that happens to get out of a death wobble is to slow the fuck down. And that's how you regain control of the handlebars. So when I think about, am I in a position where I'm in a death wobble in my business? Am I going too fast? Am I losing control? Do I not know where the fuck to go or what to do? I always take a pause and slow down. I step back into my spiritual practice to get grounded when I feel like I'm just not going where I want to go anymore. So a couple ways that I like to do this, I want to give you some examples is, I always pull out my tarot deck. I have it here behind me. I use the Rider-Waite Coleman tarot deck. It's so beautiful. I'm obsessed. So I swear I can be in the worst death wobble of my career, of my life. I'm just like, I don't know where this train is going. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like, how did I get here? You feel like everything is shaking uncontrollably. And when I'm about to lose control, I pull one card and I swear my whole life goes back to balanced. I become in touch with my inner guidance system, my intuition. I understand everything from such a deeper level because that one card will highlight to me what's really going on. Like, what is the lesson I'm learning here? Is this a pattern that I'm repeating over and over again that I just need to confront and like move forward for good? And it's hard to stop and do this practice, but when I have, I just feel so much more grounded. Another way that I like to slow down is leaning into my ride or dies. I have business besties who they get it. They know how it feels. They know what it feels like to just have, these really tough days. And these are the women that I lean on when I need that company, when I need that support. I also have other friends that I lean to when I have personal challenges coming up. I have a couple besties who are ride or dies that know my family, that know my situation, that I can lean on and say anything. And I know that it'll be a non-judgmental, like, hey, I've got you. It's okay. And having that support is absolutely game changing. But sometimes there are, there are tough challenges, there are potholes in the road. And when you're in these tough seasons, no matter how much you try to keep those handlebars straight in a death wobble, or how hard you try to, ride safe when you're in a storm, you find yourself just these miles off track from where you want to be. And when this happens, and to be honest, it happens to me at least twice a year. Like, this is just sort of my cycle that I sort of go through. I look at this as like a full wheel alignment. So you need to just stop. You just need to stop everything and take an inventory of, where the fuck are you going? What are you doing? Are you being the person you want to be? Is your life actually on the path that you want, or are you wildly off track? How well are you looking after yourself? And asking yourself realistically, like, are you taking the necessary steps to get where you want to be? And maybe the answer is you're like in fifth gear when you need to be in third. You're going too fast. Or maybe you need more frequent fuel stops to just refresh and rejuvenate your system. You need to do whatever it takes to get that alignment back, because when you do, you go so much further, so much faster when you have that alignment. But getting that alignment first is key, no matter how long it takes. In motorcycles, actually, this I love this story. So when you're riding a motorcycle in low speeds, like say you're going around a roundabout or you're in traffic and you're in like a low gear, so maybe first, second, or third, and your engine is starting to stagger a little bit. So it's kind of like jerking, maybe you feel the motion kind of jerking back and forth. And this means that you're not rolling the throttle enough. You're not keeping your revs up to a substantial level for the gear that you're in. And it means essentially that you're going too slow for the gear that you're in. And if you keep going like this for too long, you're going to stall out and you might possibly fall over, and no one wants that. It's happened to me. It's not fun. But do you know what's really, really interesting about these situations as a metaphor for life is that if you are feeling like you're going to stall out, if you feel like the engine is going a little too slow for your gear, all you have to do is you apply the rear brake gently. We call this dragging the brake in motorcycle coaching, like in the motorcycle world. When you drag the brake just a little bit, you're not hammering it, just slightly you're tapping on it. That brake applies enough pressure that the engine starts to stabilize. And it's just enough that you are able to stop that sort of shaking. And from there, you can start to regain that momentum by rolling the throttle, because you have the stability now. You're grounded enough that you can regain control and keep going on your journey. So isn't that interesting though? Like when you're going slow, when you're about to stall out, all you have to do is just ground yourself a little bit, just enough, so that you regain that momentum and you roll the throttle and then you keep going. And that's what's called dragging the brake. This is one of my favorite motorcycle techniques. I learned it when I was becoming a motorcycle coach in Minnesota, and it's never left me. Like it never fails. Dragging the brake never fucking fails. And I feel like enough people don't know about it, that it's like, yes, I mean, there is like some clutch work that you can kind of roll back and forth and kind of do that, be in the friction zone a little more. But when you apply the grounding of the rear brake, man, everything everything comes together and you feel it in your body, you feel it in the machine, like, oh, like I fucking got this. I'm stable again. Like I can roll up to the next level. I can upshift because I feel confident and comfortable of where I'm at right now. In my upcoming Badass Business Accelerator Circle starting on May 14, we're going to have all of this. We're going to be talking about the grounding techniques to keep you going, the mindset shifts you need to gain that momentum, and the support of a badass group of business women committed to rolling the throttle on their goals, of shifting their manifestations and cruising towards abundance in their businesses. So in this space, you're going to lean into the curves of entrepreneurship, sharing openly and authentically as you ride that open road of business success. Gearing up for challenges is going to start to become really easy, and you'll never navigate a storm alone. So check the show notes for the link if you want to ride with us. Kickstands are up May 14, and I only have 5 spots available on the starting line for this epic ride. So if you're thinking about it, I encourage you to get in quick because it's a very, very exclusive group. Whether you choose to enroll in the Badass Business Accelerator Circle or you're going to turn to a group of your trusted ride or dies, your truest business besties, you're always going to want to ask for this help and support before you burn out. It can be really hard on the lowest of days to reach out to someone and be vulnerable and share your story and ask for support. And personally, when I've had those days, that is literally the last thing on my to-do list. I want to cry. I want to eat chocolate. I want to wallow in my misery and just think about how hard things are and go into like a death spiral of like self-hatred. But if you have that support before you get to that level, it's like a level of maintenance, right? We do it for our vehicles, but why do we not do it for ourselves and have that, upkeep of mental health and support and nourishment from our ride or dies, from our network, so that when we need it, it's easy. And they probably already know when we're having a tough time because you're already so in tune. So that's what a really important group of ride or dies is all about, surrounding you so that when you need that help, they allow you to have that pit stop. They're going to help you refuel your engine and change your tires before you burn out completely. So in this episode, I really hope you feel seen and supported wherever you are on your journey right now. Life, business especially, gets messy. It is imperfect. There is no one way to run a business, to have a business. These blueprints are one way to do things, but you're going to sprinkle your own magic into your journey that's going to make it beautiful and perfect and unique. I hope that has really helped you understand that you're not alone if you're feeling like things are challenging. That having that resilience to keep going, to keep rolling the throttle, whether it's a mindset shift or like strategies on staying grounded and staying in motion, whether it's dragging the brake when you need to or having a total wheel realignment and reevaluating where you are in your life to help life and business feel less chaotic. It's recognizing the importance of having that support in the tough times, reaching out before you need it, so you have that group of ride or dies who are going to offer you that guidance that you need to stay upright and to just ride out the storm. So I really hope this episode helped you. Until next time, ride safe and keep living your freedom life.